Hey there. I have a question for you, like I always do. Um, when SH hits the fan, how are you showing up for yourself? And how do you talk to yourself? Are you pretty neutral and, well, maybe you don't even notice how you talk to yourself. So that would be the first thing to start paying attention how you talk to yourself. A lot of times, and we all make jokes about this, a lot of times when something bad happens, like SH hits the fan, you make a mistake, you trip and fall, you feel stupid, whatever, we can be pretty harsh with ourselves and not even realize it because it can be so normal. So my request is to invite you. My invitation for you, I would say today, is to start paying attention to your self-talk. And the reason this is so important is because it's such a big key in becoming more confident. And you might be asking yourself, how does self-talk have anything to do with my confidence? And if you've been paying attention and watching some other videos I've made, building up your self-trust is going to tell your brain that you have your back. And when you speak to yourself in a kind way, or just not a harsh way, that is building self-trust. And so the key is to start building up this trust inside of yourself. And when you can start doing that in the various ways that I'm sharing in these videos, you are going to be so much more confident because you feel safe. So sometimes it's easier to think about a scenario, or just like maybe there's a thing that you know that you say to yourself, maybe you aren't even aware. So this could be a great experiment this week, is to start paying attention how you talk to yourself inside your head. And by the way, it's not regulated, so no one else out here knows what's going on in here to catch you. So you're gonna have to catch yourself, right? So this week, I want you to pay attention if you haven't already. Now, if you already know that you aren't talking the nicest to yourself in different parts of the day or in different situations, the easiest time to catch yourself is if something, like you drop a glass or something. Or if you feel stupid, right? If you feel like, oh my gosh, I made a mistake or whatever. Or if you feel humiliated, that's a really easy time to catch yourself. Really, those voices inside can be very loud. So if you don't know how harmful it could be, because we're all so used to it, it's kind of in our culture, ask yourself, would you ever talk to your best friend that way? Would you ever talk to a child that way? Or anyone that you love? Can you picture a little child and then picture what you say to yourself? Would you ever talk to someone like that? I'm guessing the answer is no, because that is just heartbreaking and sad. And so if you won't talk to someone else like that, definitely don't talk to yourself that way. And of course, the reason a lot of times we do talk to ourselves that way is because someone talked to us that way when we were young, or it just became normalized. And it could be, a parent talked to you that way, or it could be kids at your school when you were small, talked to you that way on the playground. It just, but now we can stop that. We have the chance to stop that. I'm inviting you to stop that. I bring up these different tips for confidence because I've said this before, but I have, in all the years I've been coaching and all the clients I've had, I don't care what they come to me with, it all boils down to confidence. And so a lot of times I make these videos and they're little keys into building up your confidence. It's just one of these things. Confidence is just a hot topic. And so this is one really simple way, again, to build up your confidence muscle. Speaking of confidence, just a little side note, I'm in the middle of creating a course on confidence. I don't have it, I don't want to say much more than that because it's very close to being done. It's very exciting. I'm not going to tell the title yet. Just know that it's a course on confidence, and it's going to help you have all the tools to show up more confidently and feel really good and have more clarity and say goodbye to imposter syndrome, say goodbye to perfectionism, and say goodbye to fear of being judged, which is huge. So I'm excited about that. That's a little something I thought would be fun to share. So let me see, I wrote notes down last week for this video and I didn't get a chance to make this video. So I just want to make sure I have a couple steps I wanted to share with you. So here are 3 steps. I think there's just 3 steps. I was trying to make this really simple for you guys. The first step is catching yourself. So this week, like I said earlier, I invite you to catch yourself. Just pay attention to how you talk to yourself. Simple as that. Observe your inner voice, okay? The second step is I invite you to, when you do catch yourself, if you're in a setting that you can do this, even if you are in a setting that's a little tricky, you can still try to do this. It's just simply breathe. Catch yourself and take some deep breaths. And what that does is when you take deep breaths, it sort of interrupts the pattern and brings oxygen to your mind, but also calms your nervous system. And it immediately tells yourself you are safe. So we're going to reprogram these negative, self-talk things. We're going to erase that and we're going to reprogram it with positivity. And the first step in that is nourishing deep breaths. And even, like I said, even if you are like at work or out to dinner or whatever, no one's going to know if you just go, taking a deep breath, taking some deep breaths. And again, if you need to remind yourself, I would love it if you caught yourself in that thought and catch yourself and ask yourself right then and there, would I ever say that to someone else? Would I say that to someone out loud? The answer is no, usually no. So just remind yourself to ask that question. And the last thing I would invite you to do is, if you can, taking those deep breaths, maybe put a hand on your heart, tapping into that heart space, and reframe it. Allow yourself to reframe the situation. Right then and there, that child inside of you is the one that you're talking to. You're talking to the child inside of you. So instead of scolding yourself, because that's who hears you, is that child part of you, breathe through it and then reframe it. Or just stop and say, it's okay. You know what? We're going to fix this. Or mistakes happen. This is a little extra something here, but what would your inner child want to hear? Like, if you can go back, this is a little, kind of a little side note, but when you were a kid, if you can tap back into your child self, and if you were talked to, whether it was on the playground or by an adult, and if you were scolded, that might still be deep down in there. You can access that memory and you have the chance to go back and heal that. This is like, I know a little bit, we're going a little deeper than I thought we would go, but I just want to say you can go back in there and you have the chance to relearn this with any mistakes you're making right now, like anything where you've talked to yourself harshly now, you have the chance to go back in and reparent yourself with kind words. And again, when you do that, when you say, it's okay, we'll figure this out, I've got you, you're safe. Those kind of words, I promise you, you will be more confident. You will. It takes time sometimes, but all these little tips I'm sharing is going to build up your confidence muscle. Okay? So I hope this serves you. I would love to hear if you got something from this. I thank you so much for watching. I thank you for being here. And subscribe if you haven't already, please. And I think if you hit the bell, that will notify you when I post another video. So take care, be well, and if you are on Instagram, by the way, you can find me at Shell Dransart, Shell_Dransart. So you can connect with me there as well. And I have some other quick, exciting news. I'm in the middle of creating a new website, so stay tuned for that. I'm very excited. It's almost done. And like I said, I'm going to be announcing a course as soon as that's done. And yeah, and if you want to work with me ever with coaching, please just reach out. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.